Okay, it's the moment you've been waiting for. We are getting started. It is after 7, and I'm not talking about the music, people. Anyway, if you are ready to learn about triggers and what they mean, what they're really telling you, let me just be real with you. I'm just going to let the cat out the bag. Your triggers are not for everyone else to monitor. Your triggers are for yourself. It's data for you and for you to realize what that actually means and the work that you need to do. Oh, Shara, here we go tonight. You starting off already hard. That's what we do. If you are watching me from anywhere, your computer, your laptop, your whatever, your phone, these two QR codes are the things that I do. I am a licensed realtor as well as a phenomenal life coach. And I do couples coaching and all kind of wonderful things. Hey, just find out about it. Take a screenshot, scan the QR code to either one of my businesses. It will take you to my cards, and you can get all the information to get all my socials and my social media contacts, and to get access to my websites. So let's just do this thing, y'all. Look, I'm going to say it again. This is Embolden Live. Embolden Coaching Live. This is what you get as a free resource to you that could also be powerful for your day. I am Shara Harris. I'm here in Nashville, Tennessee. I am loving what I'm doing. I have been a life coach now for 6 years. I specialize in relationships and communication, helping women drop into their femininity and helping people and couples learn how to communicate with one another in groups of people. Just y'all, we don't know how to talk to each other. We just don't. I'm saying what I'm saying. And you have some free resources on my website. If you scan this QR code or take a screenshot and hold this QR code, it'll activate, take you to my website. You can get these free resources. I'm also adding some of the lives that I've done, some of the past ones that you can go look at. And then here are some of the services I offer. There are other things to look at, but these are the ones that are our signatures for June. And you have a coupon code of Embolden 10%. You can get 10% off either one of these coaching services here. 25-minute clarity call. Is there a decision you need to make? Is there something you're feeling stuck on? Are you getting ready to go on a date and you need me to talk you through it? You don't want to make a fool of yourself. Contact me. Book a session. You have one-on-one coaching. That's 6 sessions. They're powerful. They are centered. They're focused on getting you unstuck and helping you get the goal that you want. And couples coaching, that's one of our features this month as well. I love couples coaching. I love and I love couples. And I love when you all can communicate with each other beautifully, not perfectly, beautifully, and have a strong, healthy relationship. So let's do it. Okay, like I said, I'm starting off hard. Trauma is not your fault, but healing is your responsibility. It's not your fault. You didn't ask to go through trauma. You didn't ask to, let me just traumatize myself. And some of y'all just watch them horror films. That'd be traumatizing. Anyway, it's not your fault, but the healing is your responsibility. There are people that you're going to encounter, whether it's your friends, your family, your colleagues, people you don't know, that you owe them dealing with your trauma and getting that healed. Shar, it's not my fault. You don't know what I've been through. Everybody got a story. Everyone has a story. But though we did not cause that pain to ourselves, it is our responsibility to heal it. I don't want this extra responsibility. You didn't want the trauma either, but here it is. So your reaction isn't a problem, it's the message underneath. What your triggers are really telling you. Like I said, I let the cat out of the bag already. Everybody wants to holler boundaries and I have triggers and you triggering me. Well, if the button isn't there, they cannot push it. And if we're talking about boundaries, let's just be real. Boundaries are actually for you. They're not for other people. You can't force anyone to to align with your particular boundaries. That's just like if you have a friend that is a drug addict or an alcoholic. You can't make them stop drinking or doing drugs, but you can put a boundary on yourself and say, I am not going to be around you when you're this way. So let's get into it. Maybe it's something you can recognize here. Okay. First, what is a trigger? A trigger is an emotional reaction. And y'all, we may call it in your feelings. And we've all been there. Often it's intense really fast. They go from 0 to 600, and they go ham sometimes. I saw this a lot in education. There's some severely emotionally regulated children and emotionally regulated adults that work in the educational system, and I didn't want to be a part of it anymore. um, it's intense too fast and it feels bigger than the current moment. It's usually a signal that something from your past, not even the moment that's happening, has been activated by something in your present. So I'm gonna just let that sit for a minute. It's something that happened before I even got there. Like, you're yelling at me, you flipping out on me, you feeling inadequate, you feeling rejected, you feeling set to the side, and you encounter me, and now I'm getting the heat because of something that is unresolved. Like I said, the trauma may not be your fault. It is not your fault, but that healing is your responsibility because the world owes you nothing. We owe you nothing because we don't know your story. You do, and you're holding us accountable for something we have no idea about. Like I said, it's fast. Triggers happen before your thinking, your brain, and before your thinking brain even catches up. It's automatic. It's instant. I've had people accuse me of all kind of interesting stuff I didn't even say, and I'm like, what? And you think about it, and it comes from a place that's way before you. Someone may have said that terribleness to them before. You may have felt like you can't do anything right because of someone that you grew up with, or that was a caregiver, or a teacher, or a friend before, or a past relationship. And you hear that even when someone's not even saying it. It's too big. The reaction often feels too big. And what actually happens in the room, like, you are taking it way over the top. And it's informative. It's not just overreacting, it's your nervous system communicating something important. And this is what I watched in the educational system for 20, well, it ain't like 25 years. It's like in the last recent years that when we get emotionally unregulated children or emotionally unregulated adults, that we're just, oh, they're just going through. No, how can we help them process what they have experienced that's now causing these situations now? Because what you're doing is setting them up to continue to do this over and over and over again. And in their mind, they're thinking it's okay. Everyone's going to accept it. But guess what? Everyone's not going to accept it because the world owes you nothing. We don't know your story. We all have one. So what you may be doing may be triggering us. So then it ends up back and forth triggering, and everybody's emotionally unregulated. Where do triggers come from? They're rooted in your experiences. And all of us have unique experiences. Even if we grow up in the same household, you have unique experiences. I've talked to siblings many times that grew up with the same parents in the same house and they weren't that far apart. But the view of how they lived life and what life looked like through their view was completely different. When you have childhood wounds or unmet needs, past relationships that hurt you, moments where you weren't safe or seen, repeated criticism or shame, loss, abandonment, or betrayal. All of these are places where triggers are rooted. You lost a parent, you lost a good friend, you lost a job that was important to you. You didn't get recognized for some hard work that you did as a child. Nothing that you could do would seem good enough or right for the caregivers that you had. These are all rooted experiences that some of us have experienced. Like, you get in relationships with people and you trust them to love you and care for you and be there for you. And what you're finding out is this is one of the unsafest places I've ever been. So some of the common trigger points are feeling dismissed or ignored. I've heard this one a lot in my career. Someone raising their voice at you. Oh boy, if I had $1 for every time I heard that one, I'm telling you, I could have retired a long time ago. feeling controlled or boxed in. I had to even learn that as a teacher. Like everyone goes, you control the room, control. No, we're managing. We are facilitating the room. No one wants to be controlled, not even children. Being left out or excluded. This is one of those things that you see a lot when you see the violence in the schools and violence in different places where someone felt left out or they felt like they weren't included, or they couldn't get the girl, they couldn't get the guy, whatever it is, or they're not popular, they don't have friends. So, well, I'm gonna get triggered, emotionally unregulated, and criticism, even when gentle. And we should never criticize. And everybody's saying, "Oh, I want to give you some constructive feedback or constructive criticism." No one wants to be criticized. Give them feedback, or like, you know, give them, something constructive, something that can help someone grow. Criticizing someone makes them feel like it's impossible to be perfect. You can't be imperfect. Now, let's keep it moving. What your trigger is really saying. What your trigger is really saying is the following. Under every trigger is a message your nervous system is trying to send. Your body keeps the score. You're going to keep hearing me say this. The more you listen to me, the more you're going to hear me say the body keeps the score. It's an amazing book. Yeah, you got to read it if you haven't. It's on audio book. It's on Audible. It's on, you can buy the hard copy or the paper copy of it. You can listen, you can read it on your Kindle. It is a book that is worth the read because it really helps you understand why things you thought you were over with, things that happened way in the past, that it most certainly is not over. It can cause anger. I feel disrespected or powerless. And I've noticed that more in a lot of young men and older men in in the last years. Like everybody's angry because they feeling disrespected or they're feeling powerless. And there are some people that don't understand that because they haven't experienced it. I'm not condoning the behavior, but I understand it. Anxiety. I don't feel safe or in control. I had to learn that as a teacher as well. Kids don't feel safe if they don't know what's happening. If they don't know a routine, they don't feel safe. They don't feel in control of the environment if they don't know what it is they have to do. It may seem ridiculous to do the exact same thing every day, but that makes kids feel safe. They come in, they pick up their paper, they go to their seat. They know what's going to happen, they know what to expect. Life has many twists and turns. So we have to build some routine so that people aren't building up this anxiety because they don't know what's going to happen. People shut down. I am overwhelmed and I need to protect myself. I'm experiencing that even now with myself, trying not to shut down because you get overwhelmed. Things come at you. You have these days, and people shut down. I don't condone the behavior, but I understand. And it could also be called stonewalling when you ask them to talk to you and they stonewall you. I'm going to just build this brick wall around me. That's safer than talking to you. I'm afraid I'm going to get hurt. I don't know what you're going to say to me. They've been, they've had experiences. And we're all dealing with imperfect people. And guess what? You are one yourself. Jealousy. I'm afraid of not being enough. Y'all thought that that people act that way because they felt real confident? No. Jealousy comes from people that are not confident. They don't know. They don't feel like they're enough. So y'all think it's cute and sweet. Oh, he's jealous. Yeah, that could turn into something worse. Resentment. My needs have been unmet too long. Y'all, no one can read your mind. And we feel so unsafe. We get in these relationships. That's my man. That's my woman. That's my whatever. And we don't even feel safe to tell them what our unmet needs are. But we expect them to read our mind, and then we have resentment when they don't do what we've asked them, what we think they should be doing. We never even asked. They don't know. Well, they should know. They've been with me long enough. No one knows. No one knows. We're all trying to protect ourselves. We all have all these traumas and things that we've experienced, right? So we've got to give ourselves the opportunity to step down and say, can I really trust this person? And most of that comes from, can you trust yourself? Because I know how to make folks uncomfortable. I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable, but the point is, I'm comfortable with me. So I'm going to say, hey, this need is not being met. So if we also can have defensiveness, I'm afraid of being blamed or shamed. And I see this everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, from the highest level of professionals to folk that I wish would just leave the building. But that defensiveness, it comes. We've all experienced it. No one wants to look like they don't know what they're doing. No one wants that to be brought out or brought up. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. You don't know what you're doing. This is a mess. No one wants that. We want to do well. Most people actually want to do well, but we're not perfect. And this society we've created, we don't allow people to be imperfect. Oh, Shara, you just say whatever you want to say. Thank you, First Amendment. All right, 5 steps to work with your triggers. Notice it. Please don't act like you don't know. You know, people clear the room when you start acting a certain way. Don't judge the reaction. Just name it. I am triggered right now. That's awareness. That awareness alone is powerful. That I'm feeling triggered. I don't really use the word trigger. I was like, I feel some kind of way in my body. I wanted to slap somebody. Where'd that come from? But we're so busy trying to get people to dance around our own feelings instead of dealing with them ourselves. How dare you give somebody that much, number one, power over you? Number two, why would you give someone that much responsibility? Our responsibility is ourselves first. Put your put your oxygen mask on first before you try to go and save other people. That that airline line goes so many places, and so it goes through, can be used so many places. Pause before you react. Give yourself 60 seconds. Most of y'all don't even give yourself 6 seconds before you're flipping out on people and you're throwing things and you're kicking in windows and you're kicking in doors and you're doing all the things that are emotionally unregulated, and then think that you're justified because of the trauma that you've experienced. We've all experienced some trauma. And hey, Miss Benjamin, um, we've all experienced some trauma, but it's not. It doesn't make it right for you to go tearing up somebody's things, tearing up these restaurants, slapping people. Look, you're gonna run up on the wrong one. You play stupid games, you're gonna win some stupid prizes. Is what I like to tell folks. Don't speak, send, or decide anything from inside the trigger. Give yourself a moment. Some of these texts y'all send people, this emails y'all send people, y'all are just sitting there sending stuff because you're behind the screen. I dare you to say some of that stuff to some of these people's faces. Say it to their face. Feeling froggy, jump. Say it to their face. Most of y'all are not going to say these things to their face, but you'll show keyboard pirate. Nah, 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 nah. I'll have your job. Have it. Come get it. I welcome you. Come see me. Ask is this a real feeling under the anger? Because that angry feeling, it gets you unhinged. You've got to regulate yourself. It's no one else's responsibility for you to regulate yourself. Is there hurt somewhere under the shutdown? Is there fear? Get to the root of the emotion. This is the problem. We want to just lop off the top of it. But down deep is the roots that's even causing the problem anyway. And the anger and the resentment and the rejection and all the things that you're feeling, that is what's feeding those roots. And you wonder why it keeps coming up. You never yanked it up from the root. Trace it back. Ask yourself, when have I felt that exact way before? The answer is usually older than today. You don't just come in there wanting to slap somebody that day. Something has happened in the past. They may have done something before that you didn't talk about. You just sat there in resentment and let it stew. Or you may be have experienced it from a different relationship. It could have come from when you were growing up, but you're still carrying it. Don't talk down to me. I heard people say, "Don't be talking down to me. I'm educated. I got a PhD. I got a doctor's degree." Okay, that's lovely. We love it. We love that you're intelligent. That's fantastic. But where's the "to" coming from? I have women tell me often as I'm coaching them, "Oh, a man is just intimidated by my success." No, he doesn't like the stinky attitude that comes with it. "Oh, sorry, you're gonna get banned. Ban me." Because I'm gonna stand on that hill that it's not your success that he's so intimidated by. Because hopefully you're dating someone or interacting with someone that's on your level, that has that same kind of educational background. But no, you're getting triggered because someone told you, "Well, you're not smart enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not whatever enough." But I'm gonna stand on that degree and I'm gonna whop you across your head when you say something about it. Sorry, you're getting off trail. That's all right. I always do that. Look, respond, don't react. Once you regulate it, address the situation from a grounded place, not a wounded one. Because wounded things hurt things. Have you ever seen somebody drowning and how they flail and take people down with them? I did it when I was growing up. I jumped in the pool thinking I could swim. And this poor little child, he was just swimming, minding his own business. And I started to drown, honey. I was reaching out for everything. That poor little boy, I was just dragging him everywhere. I can't remember that child's name, but if you remember this story, if you hear this story right now, and you are that poor child, please forgive me, honey. I was reaching for my life, and you just happened to be there. Your poor swimming trunks and everything was at reach, and I was just after you, poor child. Anyway, but a drowning person will kill you. They will kill you if you are not careful. You have to be mindful because a wounded person will injure another wounded person because they are reacted from the fear, reacting from the wound. They are not reacting grounded. All right, it's trigger reflection time, y'all. What is one trigger you're experiencing regularly? And what emotion lives underneath it? I'll be blunt and honest. When I see certain people being unprofessional, that drives me nuts. And that drives me nuts because I've been called unprofessional before. And I hear people call certain groups of people unprofessional just because they walked in a space or because they wore their hair a certain way. And that bothers me. That bothers me. And then when I see certain folks living up to the stereotype, that bothers me even more. When did you first feel the emotion? How old were you? You may not even remember. It may be so young you don't even remember. But try to remember the closest date or the furthest date back that you can. You may not remember the first time, but how far back can you go? It had to be something. People say the craziest things, especially in my generation. People before me, they would just say the most wild things and expect you to be okay with it and it not to traumatize you because of your, talking about your looks or whatever it is. People say some outrageous things and they don't think about it and how that affects you down the long run. What do you usually do when you're triggered? And how does that actually help? If you tan up everything and you damaging property, how does that help you? Is that solving anything or is that making the situation worse? I know a lot of us don't want to go to a therapist. Fine. Don't go to a therapist. Come to a coach. People have stigmatized mental health as if it's something that you shouldn't get. Ain't nothing wrong with me. Why does something have to be wrong with you? Why would you not want to be even better than you already are? By going and talking to someone in a safe, non-biased space. You can't talk to your friends about everything. They don't have the skill set sometimes to talk that through. You can't talk to your mate about everything. They don't sometimes that's more burden than they need to carry. This is why coaching exists. This is why therapists exist. This is why coaches and therapists coincide, work alongside with each other to help people get the help that they need. Thank you. Love my audience that's reacting in the comments and in the chat. Love it. Um, what would it look like to respond instead of react in the moment? I used to say this when I was teaching. I make folk mad all the time. I would say, honey, be proactive, not reactive. Don't come to me at the last 3 days of school talking about my child is failing. What can they do to raise their grade? Absolutely nothing. The same thing they did the entire school year or the entire semester or the entire quarter to why their grade is failing in the first place. And let me be real blunt with some of y'all. If y'all got kids that's failing, please, please, please pay attention. Because if they're failing in the system that we have now, where the minimum score that we can give a child on a classwork grade is a 50, and the minimum we can give them on an assessment grade is a 59, that's even if they turn in nothing, just something with their name on it, and your child is failing when we up grades the way we do and curb the way we do, please, please interact with some of your amazing educational professionals and find out what's really going on or take accountability. Oh, ooh, Shara, ooh, ooh, Shara. Look here, y'all. Here's your affirmation for today. Yes, Miss Benjamin, you tell them. My triggers do not define me. They point me toward healing. I am learning to respond from a place of wholeness. This is, take a screenshot. This is real. They don't define you. They may be a part of who you are because of the experiences that you have, but they point me towards the healing I need. Don't ignore them. Don't make it somebody else's responsibility. Aim for your wholeness. That's why coaches are here. We're here. The trauma is not your fault, but the healing is absolutely, positively your responsibility. I want a husband. I want a wife. I want to have children. I want to do this. I want to create content. But all you're doing is spewing venom all over people every time you get on the screen or every time you get in front of your family or every time you get around your friends. You're being manipulative. You're doing all these things because you have trauma and you want everyone to dance around it. Honey, my feet are tired. It's already blood on the dance floor. We done. Okay? So please, please, your triggers are trying to help you. Book a free call. The match calls are free. You can decide if I'm the coach for you or I can send you to someone else. Or if you feel like, coaching is not for me, I prefer therapy. I can recommend some folk to you because there's no reason for us to sit there and not get the help we need when we have people offering it. Look, I'm emotionally, I'm a trauma informed, and I deal with emotionally regulated regulation. I teach you how to communicate. I can help you with so many things to help you move forward in your life. Not only am I an excellent life coach, I am also an amazing realtor. And I have taken my love for education and I've transferred it into real estate. And every Wednesday at 7 p.m., we are on there. I got several realtors that will come on. I have loan officers, loan originators. I have title people. Y'all, we got attorneys that want to be a part of this. We're coming in and we're teaching you the home ownership process. Not just if you're a first time buyer, we're talking about people that are wanting to sell, you want to invest. We even help renters. Everybody deserves a home. And that's why we created the home school so that we can educate you. And the way you can get in contact with me, this is my information about my emboldened coaching. But let me just flip here. Here are both of my businesses. Um, either one of those are there. You can scan the QR code. Char, I'm using my phone. Take a screenshot. Hold the QR code for either one of them. It'll take you to my contact information or my website. Come on, y'all. There's no reason sitting there. You got someone offering it to you. And if you don't like me, she say too much crazy stuff. Look, I can get you to somebody else. I got a network of folk that's here to help you. Y'all, we do this because we love you and we appreciate you so much. Ms. Benjamin, shout out to you. Thank you so much for joining me. Can't wait to see you. Y'all, so much love to you. Mental health is a real thing, and we are here to help, and we all deserve to feel at home in our bodies. Love y'all. I'll see y'all next time.